All right, let's run through another Mtel problem. So this one's about the greatest common factor of some numbers. So we're going to find the greatest common factor by doing the prime factorization, which if you've never seen that, you take a number and you break it up into its factors. So we're going to make a little factor tree with numbers that multiply to 300, and we're going to break those numbers apart until they're prime, until we can't break it up anymore. So 30 I know is, or 300 is 30 times 10. And then I can break that into 6 times 5. And I can break 10 into 5 times 2. So here I already have prime numbers. 5 and 2 are prime. The only number that isn't prime here is 6, which is 3 times 2. So this is the prime factorization. At the very bottom of the tree, I have a 3, a 2, a 5, and a 2. So if we write that in this format that they have written here, this would be 2 times 2, which is 2 squared, times 3 to the first power times 5 squared, right? So this is our prime factorization of 300. We're going to do that for each one of these numbers. So 480, we can do a tree as well. 480 is 60 times 8. 60 is 6 times 10. 8 is 4 times 2. 4 is just 2 times 2. 2 is prime, so we're done there. 10 is 5 times 2. Both those numbers are prime. 6 is 3 times 2. Right? So if we're going to write our prime factorization for this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s, so it would be 2 to the 5th power times 3 times 5. 840 is an interesting number. I think 7 goes into 840. Yeah, I might just, so 840, what is that? I guess I'll just do 20. So 840 is 20 times 42, is that right? Yeah, 20 times 42 is 840. 42 is 6 times 7. 6 is just 3 times 2. 20 is 4 times 5. 4 is 2 times 2. So now that we have all prime numbers, we can write down our prime factorization. We have 3 2's, so it's 2 to the 3rd power times 3 times 5 times 7. So those are all 3 of those numbers broken into prime numbers. If you multiply these back out, you're going to get the number. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 is 300, but this is it broken down into the prime numbers. So now we can compare the prime numbers, the prime factorizations, to find our greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor is the biggest number that can be evenly divided into each one of these numbers. And we can find that by finding what we have in common from each of these. So each one of these numbers has a 2, right? But we want to take the lowest exponent from the 3 of these. So the lowest exponent on a 2 is 2 squared. So our greatest common factor is going to have a 2 squared in it. And then we're going to have, each one of these has a 3 to the 1st power. So it's going to be 2 squared times 3. Each one of these has a 5. And then we're out of common factors. So the greatest common factor here is 2 squared, which is 4, times 3, which is 12, times 5, which is 60. So our greatest common factor is 60, but that's not what the question's asking. The question is asking, what is A plus B plus C if it's in this format? So we just wrote out our prime factorization of our greatest common factor, which is 2 squared times 3 times 5. So the exponents on those are 2, 1, and 1. If we add 2, 1, and 1 together, we get 4. So that's answer B.